Warm welcome to all astrometeorology students and enthusiasts. In the last class, we have seen the conditions for predicting rainfall as outlined in the Brihat Samhita of Acharya Varahamihira. Continuing with our discussion on the ancient texts regarding rainfall prediction and the crop, we take up in this class the various factors or parameters described in the Narada Samhita and Krishi parashara. I have also included some chapters from the Brihat Samhita and also another book called Mayurachitram. This Mayurachitram is also supposed to have been authored by Narada Maharshi, and it could have been a part of this same Narada Samhita at some time. But now, since printed editions were not available of Narada Samhita, a separate version which was later edited by somebody is available. The Krishi Parashara is a very important book. It not only gives various conditions of predicting rainfall, but also gives a lot of insight into agricultural operations. It is unfortunate that the present education system has replaced almost all the wisdom of the ancient Indians, and we have not received enough attention from scholars. Now we will examine the various parameters given in Narada Samhita or prediction of rainfall. You will see that some of these, what we are going to see here in this class, are repetitions that is given in the previous class in Brihat Samhita. There will be very similarities also, and sometimes there are contradictions also. But the correlation of all this together of ancient wisdoms written at times maybe 500 or 600 years apart, we should apply them keeping that in mind and also adjust something to the current knowledge and only do the predictions of weather. My idea of giving out all these ancient books in one place for all of you enthusiasts in astrology and astrometeorology is that more number of people should try to understand the ancient wisdom available in this country and put it to use for the benefit of our people. Now here we see if the moon is in the 7th house from Venus, or if moon is placed in a Kona or the 7th house from Saturn, there will be rain. This is true for the rainy season. Now if in the rainy season, if moon or Venus gets aspected by malefics, then the rainfall will get less. So here how we will apply these two conditions is that if the Magha clouds or the Pausha clouds or the Ashada wind, etc., what we have already seen, is predicting good rainfall in Savana or Bhadrapada. At that time, if such a condition exists, that moon gets afflicted or Venus gets afflicted, then the moderation has to take place. Mercury and Venus in close proximity will give rains. Sun in between them will destroy the rain prospect for that period. Hence, Sun should not be flanked by Mercury and Venus on both sides. This you will find in many places in Krishi Parashara, also in Kalavidhana Paddhati, which we will see later. Everywhere we will see this. Venus, when he occupies 5 stars from Magha, the 3 stars from Swati, it is Swati, Vishakha and Ravi, and 3 Purvas, it will give rain. Planets on either side of the Sun gives rise to rain. Now, it is not only the Mercury and Venus, other planets is what is meant here. If Venus occupies the 12th or 2nd from Sun, and it is not retrograde, it will help in getting good rainfall. Venus, when setting or rising, will cause rain. Now we have seen in the Brihat Samhita that any heliacal setting or rising of any planet will cause rain. This is only a immediate or temporary rain. So far as Venus is concerned, the later part of this class we will see. There is a very specific prediction techniques associated with Venus rising alone. At that point of time, say maybe after half an hour of this class, we will see those. The Sun entering Ardra will cause rain. But on the Sun entry, at the time of Sun entry, there should not be any rain. This is what the Samhita says. And in the case of Sun's entry taking place into Ardra happens in the day, there will be damage to crops. If it is in the night, there will be prosperity. If entry is at twilight, then all crops will thrive. Strong winds should not blow on Ardra Pravesha. If Ardra Pravesha day, crops might get destroyed if there is strong wind blowing. Locusts may attack the crops. But there is an exception, that Venus, Mercury, Jupiter or Moon stationed in a Kendra of the Pravesha Lagna. Fear of locusts are removed. Likewise, when Sun enters Purvashada and at that time it is covered by clouds, locusts will not come. Here, some other indications are given. Or Karka Sankranti, if there is no clouds, and on Simha Sankranti, there are clouds, then the rains will be very less during the season. On the first day of Kanya, if there is strong wind, then the rain will be good in the coming month. That means in Kanya and Tura, Ashwin, Kartik months. On the day when Sun enters Uttarabhadra, it should not rain. Similarly, when it enters Revati also, it should not rain. On Ashwati and Bharani also, it should not rain. It says that if it rains on the sun's entry to Uttarabhadra, then first crops, that is what we call as Kharif crops or the early crops, the Grishma crops will be destroyed. If it is on the Revati, then the autumn or Sharad crops will be destroyed. If it rains on Ashwini and Bharani, both crops will be destroyed. What it actually means is late March, early April. That means the end of Meena and the beginning of Vesha. It should not rain. It's actually the hot season where the pregnant clouds are getting fully ripe for falling as rain in a Shravanabhadra. This one is a little repetition of what we have seen earlier. Venus in 7th from Jupiter, there will be good rains. And an observation of the sun's hue during rainy season. If the sun's hue is in honey color and there are strong winds at sunset and sunrise, then torrential rains will come. In the previous Samhita, we have seen that the color of Alopecia flowers and the color of peacock's feathers, they have certain prediction when the sun's hue is of their color. Now here it is given as honey color will give you good rains. Now here is one description of Pratisurya or parhelion. The Pratisurya is actually a reflection of the sun on crystalline ice or snow formed on the clouds. And it looks like two suns at sunrise or sunset, or sometimes even three suns. So that's why it's called Pratisurya, or the reflection of the sun. It's called parhelion in English. So Samhita says the appearance of parhelion to the north of the sun indicates immediate rain. On the south side, if it comes, there is storm. Suppose it shows on both sides, then there will be so much of rains and storm that will cause flooding. Now the modern scientists have also studied this phenomena, and I have taken the extract in italics here from one website called meteorologistnred.com. It says parhelion is an atmospheric phenomenon, and it is at around 22 degrees from the sun, caused by reflection from ice crystals on cirrus clouds. Cirrus clouds generally are formed near to the appearance of storms. So parhelion can be a sign of weather change. It is possible that looming in storms that will deliver short-term rainfall and can be predicted that the weather will worsen in the period of 12 to 24 hours. The website says like this. This was given by Narada Rishi millennia back. So we can see how much of studies our ancients have carried out for ensuring a good forecast for helping the farmers and the nation as a whole. Krishi parashara starts with the phrase that a scholar shall acquire the knowledge of rainfall very carefully, because life depends on agriculture, and agriculture has rainfall as its base, as its moola or as its root. And parashara also says that to understand rainfall, one should have the correct knowledge of the lords of the air, clouds, rain measurements, etc. Now these subjects of Navanayakas, or the lords of the year. The Meghananam, the cloud types and their quantity of rain they carry, etc., is in the Panchanga Ganita subject of our Siddhanta Jyotisham. So we will study those when we deal with the subject of Panchanga after 2 or 3 classes. Krishi Parashara also emphasizes the knowledge of the wind directions and wind intensity, and it says right from Pausha month, study of the wind has to be carried out. On the Shuklavaksha of Pausha, if there is dust in the sky and flashing of lightnings, then it will rain in the rainy season when the time comes after 7 months. Fog in Pausha will cause on the 7th month again rain. Rainfall will come on the same lunar maximum, the same nakshatra on which the rainfall has taken place in Pausha, the 7th month. So you can see in the Samhita also, the 195 days and the 7th month period is given very clearly. So in the ancient Indian astronomy, astrology or astrometeorology system, we can see that the monsoon period starting from Ashada, that is around July, to October, the monsoon period is affected by the clouds formed 7 months back, is our contention, which is slightly different from the way in which modern science is looking at it. Here again, some of the concepts given Brihat Samhita is seen. A light shower and clouds on the Magha Shukla Vaksha, Saptami, Magha Krishna Vaksha Saptami, Swati Nakshatra. All these will cause good rains in rainy season. If there is downpour in Magha and wind in Phalguna, then rain will come up to the time when sun enters Libra. Even the month of Phalguna, the Rohini Nakshatra happens to fall from Panchami to 5 days. That means Panchami, Shashti, Saptami, Ashtami and Navami. Then respectively bad rains, that is scanty rains, bad rains, medium rains and good rains will happen. If there are no clouds on Chitra, Swati and Vishakha of Jyeshta, if in the Shravana month Chitra, Swati and Vishakha nakshatras as rainfall, in both cases crop abundance will happen, very good rains will be there. Very conducive rains for crop growing will happen. From Ardra, if 10 nakshatras, if there is rain, then there will be copious rains. Ashada Shukla Navami should have light rains so that throughout the year good rains are there. Now here the observation of wind direction on the full moon of Ashada is given. It's there in the table for you to see. The winds blowing from east indicate good rains. From southeast, there can be damage to crops. From southwest, it is scanty rains. From west, it shows crop destruction. From northwest, there will be rainfall. From north, there can be storms. And from the northeast, if the wind blows, there is abundance of crops. Now the Krishi Parashara gives certain planetary transits as causing rain. Saturn, Mars, Jupiter, when they transit from one sign to another, there will be some rain on the earth. Jupiter in Chitra and Swati Nakshatra will give rise to rains. Venus in Chitra Nakshatra causes an immediate rainfall as soon as it enters Chitra. Mars will cause drought when they cross through these stars. Kritika, Magha, Shravana, Hasta, Mula. Mars in Sun's Rashi or conjunct with Sun, it causes a drought. In the month of Shravana, on Rohini day, if it rains, then there will be good rains continuously up to Kartika. So here poetically, the book says, rains will last till Hari wakes up from sleep. Hari wakes up from sleep means Vishnu is waking up from his sleep in the Chaturmasa period now. So Vishnu goes to sleep on Sayana Ekadashi day in the Shukla Ekadashi of Ashada and is waking up on the Shukla Ekadashi of Kartika month. So in these 4 months we are celebrating as Chaturmasya. So here when Rohini day of Shravana has got rains, it says right up to Uttara Ekadashi there will be rains. So that means there will be abundance in the nation. If it does not rain on Rohini Nakshatra, when Sun transits Karka, then it is misery for the farm. So that means it must rain on when Sun transits Karka in the month of Shravana. Now we will see some of the points given in Mayura Chitram. Here in the first point what you have given in this slide. When moon is in a Kendra or Lagna of the year beginning chart, this is called a Jagat Lagna chart. We'll talk about it during the Panchanga session. A horoscope is to be cast at the beginning of the year, the day when Sun enters Aries, or the Chaitra Shukla Pratipada day. And then we have to decide certain points like cloud formation and lords of the year, etc. Then we'll talk about it at that time. Here it says if moon is in a Kendra, there will be good rains. Moon in the 7th of Shukra, we have already seen this. All Jalarashis contain benefics which are their own houses. And moon is also in a Jalarashi. Then good rains will result. When Sun travels between Mercury and Venus, water is reduced. This also we have, I think, seen in the other books already. When Saturn is in Uttarada or Purva Phalguni and Sun is on the 7th star, there will be reduction of water in the water bodies. Now, in the Tika or the Vyakhya of this book, the sun on 7th star is given as Punarvasu star. There can be two interpretations since it refers Saturn in Uttarashada and Purva Falguni also. The 7th star from Uttarashada is Revati and the 7th star from Purva Falguni is Anuradha. So the sun may be on the 7th star from these stars where Saturn is placed. Well, this needs a certain amount of study by some statistical information. The next verse says, when the son of sun is united with son of earth, son of sun is Saturn and the son of earth is Mars. When they are conjunct in Dhanishta, there will be no rains. I think conjunction of Saturn and Mars causes drought. Earlier also we saw it somewhere. When Sun, Mars and Jupiter are together in Shani's house and Moon also comes together, then there is drought. When Rahu and Mars unite in Vrishabha Rashi, there will be drought. Mars and Jupiter conjunct will create loss of rain. When Venus, Jupiter and Mars are conjunct, there will be rain. Jupiter and Venus together always causes rain. When 7 planets unite in a Rashi, there will be drought. Saturn, Venus and Mars together in Taurus should not happen. It will cause famine in the land. Any planet in Atichara will cause effect on rains. The benefit will cause less rain and the cruel planet will cause more rain. If there is a rise of Shukra in Ashada, Shravana, Pausha and Vaisakha, drought and suffering to people is the result. When Jupiter is in Atichara and Mars and Saturn gets retrograde, there will be suffering, particularly in the southern states. In Ashada, Shravana, Pausha months, 5 Saturdays should not be there. If there are 5 Saturdays, there will be no rains in these months. Particularly Ashada, Shravana, we are interested. Pausha month, if there is no rain, there is no problem. In the foregoing discussions, we have seen many methods by which rainfall is predicted by observing clouds right from the month of Margashirsha, that is around December, and progressively studying the various cloud formations, wind patterns, planetary combinations, etc., to help the farmer in getting a reasonably good forecast of the rain situation during the season so that the crops can be accordingly chosen. Now, having said that, is there any variations between places, between states, provinces, between kingdoms? Because in any case, we all know that sometimes Tamil Nadu gets larger rain, Andhra Pradesh gets lower rain, Uttar Pradesh gets very heavy rain, but Bihar is having a little lesser rain, and things like this. Therefore, our ancient people developed a system called Kurma Vibhaga or a tortoise diagram. The country, the sketch of the country or the map of the country is superimposed with a tortoise lying on top of it. And some stars are being marked on the top of the kurma. I'll explain it here with the diagrams. Now, here is the kurma. The kurma is lying with its face towards the east. Purva is written here. East, and its tail on the west. Now, on the back of the kurma, we start marking 3 stars: Kritika, Rohini, and Mrgashirsha. We start with Kritika here and end with Bharani. Then we proceed marking the stars in groups of 3. So like here, Kritika, Rohini, Mrgashirsha, Ardra, Punarvasa, Pushya, Shlesha, Magha, Purva, Uttara, Asta, Chitra, Swati, Vishaga, and Radha, Jyeshtha, Mula, Purvashada, etc. It goes on up to Revati, Ashwati, and Bharani on the northeast corner or the left front foot. Okay, that is how the kurma is formed. Okay, now we see the application of the kurma vibhaga chakra on our country's map. First, I will take the map of India, and then I will place the kurma on top of it, as described in the previous slide, with the face on the east, tail on the west, and with all the nakshatras marked as already described in my previous slide. Now there are several types of crop damage which can happen. Excess rains, no rains, locust, rat attacks, bird damage, Swachakra, insurgents inside the countries, enemies inside, enemies outside, etc. So all the Samhita works, including Brihat Samhita and Narada Samhita. In the Narapati Jayacharya Swarajaya, that is a very famous book. These books give a very detail of this method. Now, what we do is find the position of Saturn and other malefics with strength. See which star they are placed and look at the tortoise. The tortoise back, the front, the flanks, the limbs, all of them carry some stars. Whichever star is afflicted by Saturn or a very cruel malefic, very cruel malefic is functionally also very malefic. Such affliction will cause damage to crops in that area. And there we correlate with all other factors of rain, etc. and find exactly what are the damages and excess rain or droughts which can cause in which region of the country it will happen. We'll continue with the Samhita and other texts in lesson 3 in the next presentation. Thank you for watching and continue to watch. Please like and subscribe for continuing to watch my next 7 lessons on this. Thank you.